following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting and Journalism at Western Illinois University.
To vote or not to vote, why one local organization is encouraging everyone to participate in the election no matter who they support. Ahead.
Actually, this was a collaboration between the SGA president, DeVille, and I.
A new idea is brought in front of the Macomb City Council that will bring the students at WIU and the city closer together.
And Halloween weekend is almost here. Haunted houses, candy, trick-or-treating, games, and more. WIU is offering tons of family fun for the spooky holiday. Find out when and where next.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
The City of Macomb is working with Western Student Government Association to help the university and city become closer. Good afternoon and welcome to Live at 4.
The city and student government have never had a collaboration like this before, and News 3's Emily Manley spoke of the two people behind the idea.
DeVille Serpskady has been a part of WIU Student Government Association for 2 years, but her second year is when she stepped up into a big role, student body president. As president, she came up with an idea that brings students closer to the Macomb community.
Maybe start bringing issues that the students feel that are important to students to the mayor, and then have the mayor and us kind of talk about them, see what we can do together, not just on the city side, but also as students as well.
DeVille came up with a board of 10 people that can meet with the mayor and council to help build a better bond.
I opened it up to student government first, just because I know those are my kind of trusted people in the room that I know could definitely give some good feedback. And most of the people, I think there's 8 that are in student government, so they're representatives from their organizations. And then there's also some student leaders on campus that aren't represented in student government. I made sure that these are people that really cared about the community.
Mayor of Macomb, Mike Inman, is happy with the idea DeVille has proposed. This is the first time students from Western will have a planned meeting set each month with the city.
Everything that we want to, we're talking about transparency, engaging the students in city government.
Inman also said that by bringing together the students and the city council, this should keep both university and city rumors down and keep the facts straight.
But kind of a mechanism in place where student leadership has a good relationship and a good communication line with community leadership.
That was Emily Manley reporting. Serpskady, Mayor Inman, and the 10 students chosen will meet once a month to discuss what's going on in both city and university matters. The aldermen also expressed how excited they are to have interaction between the city and WIU students.
New at 4, a local four-wheeler driver is facing charges after a run-in with police. A Macomb police officer pulled George Lara over on East Murray Street, but he wasn't driving a car. Instead, he was driving a four-wheeler. After being pulled over, police say Lara drove off through some yards into his own backyard. Lara was charged with aggravated DUI and other charges.
Teaming up to end violence is what WIU hopes to do during Take Back the Night. The 27th annual Take Back the Night will help raise awareness for sexual assault and other forms of gender-based violence. There will be a march starting at 6:30 p.m. tonight on the south side of Hanson Field, and it will end at Chandler Park. That's where the rally will begin at 7. That will include speakers, performers, and a word from Macomb Mayor Mike Inman and WIU President Jack Thomas.
The race that raised over $18,000 a year ago returns to WIU. It's the 4th annual Fallen Soldiers 5K. The event was crafted to fund scholarships in memory of WIU alumni who died in the line of duty. Although early registration is come and gone, those who missed the deadline can still register on the day of the race. Registration is $35 and the race begins at 8:30 in the morning.
We're a little over 1 week away from the night that the ghouls and goblins come out, and residents of Macomb have several choices this year for a safe Halloween. WIU is offering their annual Residence Hall Safe Trick or Treat. Children between the ages of 2 and 12 are invited to trick or treat or play haunted Halloween games. Safe Trick or Treat takes place on October 30th. Residence halls participating are Bayless Henninger, Tanner, Corbin Olson, Thompson, Lincoln Washington, and Grody.
Also, WIU will continue their Halloween scaring with a haunted house. The scaring is suitable for younger children on October 30th in Thompson Hall. For those wanting more of a scare, a scarier haunted hall for adults and teens will be held Friday and Saturday. The city of Macomb is also hosting their traditional trick-or-treating on Sunday and Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. The mayor's office says if you want to hand out treats, be sure to leave a porch light on.
Genesis Garden is raising funds to continue construction on its homeless shelter. The organization has been working on the home since January, but they still need about $30,000 to finish the project. To raise money, they are having a lockout to raise funds on Friday. The lockout will go from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. in Chandler Park. Participants ask friends and family to sponsor their stay at the park. The event raises awareness of homelessness in the Macomb community. There will be a rally with live music starting at 6 tomorrow evening. Join us tomorrow morning as well at 9 when we will take you to a look inside the lockout for our live coverage at Chandler Park on our award-winning show, Good Morning Macomb.
Coming up, last night's presidential debate in Las Vegas brought in millions of viewers. We have the poll results following the event ahead.
I think it's extremely important to have these public forums where people from both parties can get together and answer questions.
And a forum in Macomb gives candidates a chance to pitch their policies. We talked to one candidate in a hotly contested race about why he's running. But first, Jason Chauvin has a preview in sports. Jason.
Thanks, Danny. With the high school football season coming to a close and the Bombers on the outside looking in, that means MHS will try to play spoiler this weekend. Hear from head football coach Kelly Sears as he previews this weekend's game against IVC High School. And JT Grider has a quick look at the weather. JT?
Looking outside across our Macomb webcam, we see the clouds in the street and flags are moving. I'll let you know how long that wind will stick around and when we can see some more sun ahead.
In high definition. Live at 4 is back in a moment.
Now from Macomb in high definition with Danny Fry, Brianna Descaret, Storm Team 3's JT Grider, and Sports with Jason Chauvin. Live at 4 continues.
More than 70 million people tuned into the final presidential debate in Las Vegas Wednesday night. Poll watchers say Clinton won the debate.
But what everyone's talking about is Trump's comments on whether he'll accept the election result. Diane Gallagher is there at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
Wait. Secretary Clinton, it's an open discussion. Wednesday's debate showdown was every bit as combative as the previous matchups. Moderator Chris Wallace worked to focus on policy, but the candidates often attacked and talked over each other.
He always is looking for some
Chris, we don't gain anything.
He has all these
Iran is taking over Iraq.
Secretary Clinton. The night's big headline came when Trump refused to promise that he would concede if he loses on November 8th.
Do you make the same commitment that you will absolutely, sir, that you will absolutely accept the result of this election?
I will look at it at the time. I'm not looking at anything now. I'll look at it at the time.
Now, some Trump supporters defended his position.
He didn't say that he wouldn't accept the outcome. He said, I will let you know at the time.
Others, though, blasted the candidate. Conservative commentator Laura Ingraham tweeted, quote, he should have said he would accept the results of the election. A presidential historian explained why many people find the remarks disturbing.
Casting aspersions on our entire free and fair elections. That's one of our great exports around the world. And for a lot of us, we might say that's just the Donald. But for around the world, it looks like a breakdown of our democratic process.
In Las Vegas, I'm Diane Gallagher.
A CNN poll found that 52% of debate watchers thought Clinton won, while 39% gave the night to Trump.
Back in Macomb, a candidate running against incumbent Noreen Hammond for state representative of the 93rd District says he's running because voters need more choices.
We need new voices. We need people that are willing to think differently and willing to work on both sides of the aisle to get some things done.
John Curtis spoke on Tuesday night at the candidate forum. His opponent, Noreen Hammond, did not attend. Curtis says if he wins, there is one thing in particular he will advocate for.
Fight like crazy to get funding and to make sure that WIU continues to exist in the future.
Curtis says funding for WIU needs to be a top priority for whoever wins.
We have 3 weeks left until election night. WIU students and people in the community are working to get residents registered to vote. News 3's Kayla Collins reports on why it's important to get to the polls this election year.
In 2012, 57.5% of voters turned out at the polls. That was down from 62.3% of voters in 2008. The president of the McDonough County League of Women Voters, Sarah Bockelman, says people should really go out and vote.
By not voting, you are actually making a choice, and that's to let everyone else decide for you. So your best option is to look at what is available and choose the person that you think is going to do the most for you.
The early national exit poll conducted by Edison Research says 19% of voters in 2012 were between the ages of 18 to 29. As voting for the next president inches closer and closer, student organizations have been coming out to get students registered to vote.
Tumultuous election cycle this year that students should really be able to vote, and we just want to provide that opportunity for all our students to make sure that they can fulfill their civic duty and just have the opportunity to have their voices heard.
No one I interviewed was excited about the candidates, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump.
Donald Trump being a natural-born comedian, or maybe he's serious, I don't know. And then Hillary, I'm not sure what's her issue, but she's some policies that are a little bit out there as far as I'm concerned.
Voting is a way for people to express their opinions and viewpoints. For News 3, I'm Kayla Collins.
The McDonough County Clerk's Office says anyone can register and vote on the same day at the McDonough County Courthouse from now until Election Day.
It's a breezy day outside and cooler temperatures. Meteorologist JT Greider is in the Storm Team 3's Weather Center next with the weekend forecast.
Welcome back to Live at 4. Looking out at Macomb, we have 55 degrees currently, but that wind is out of the north at 15 miles an hour. For the region, though, we have temperatures right around the mid to upper 50s pretty much area-wide. We have 57 in Keokuk, 55 in Quincy, and 53 in Galesburg. As we have a cold front kind of to our north, that's kind of cooling down our temperatures. But for our almanac page for today, we reached a high of 56 degrees. Our low was only 50 last night. And that's really below average, which is it's nice to see for the year, but that's because of that cold Canada air that's kind of sweeping down from the north thanks to the high pressure and the cold front that's sweeping through. Looking at our surface map, we see that cold front that sweeps through, and then we have some rain off in Missouri. I'll talk about that here in a little bit, but that high pressure system off to our northwest is providing that Canada air to come down and cool us off pretty quickly. But here's this rain. It's off to our southwest right now, and it's going to continue to move across the south, but I'm not going to rule it out. We could see a couple passing showers into tonight, but it's not going to do a whole lot. It's just going to rain, and then it's going to be gone real quick. For your tonight forecast here, though, we have partly cloudy skies, a low of 35 degrees, but I do have those rain chances in, and that's going to play into our temperatures a little bit. If our clouds part ways, it's going to start dropping pretty quick. Our winds will be out in the northwest at 5 to 10, bringing in that more Canada air. And because of that, because our lows are going to be in the low to mid 30s, the National Weather Service in the Quad Cities has issued a frost advisory for McDonough County and the surrounding area. A frost advisory means that frost is likely and that you should cover or move your sensitive plants inside. That frost advisory will go from 1 a.m. to about 8 a.m. tomorrow. But the clouds will quickly go away and the sun will come out. We'll reach a high of 58 for tomorrow. The wind's still out of the northwest at 5 to 10, so we could have some chilly moments throughout the day from that nice Canada air. But then, for your 5-day forecast, we have sunny skies Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, with temperatures kind of on a roller coaster going from the high 50s all the way up to the low 70s, and then we start dropping back down into the later part of the week.
You know, I'm liking all of the sun, but that frost means I'm going to have to bring my pumpkins in off of my front porch.
Wasn't it just 85?
It was. We're on a really big roller coaster right now, and it's going to look to stay that way for a little bit longer.
And Jason, aren't those fall sports starting to come to an end too?
Yep, Danny, of course, you said it. You took my tease. You took what I was going to say. The MHS football isn't the only sport that's coming to an end. Here, stick around to see if the Lady Bombers were able to extend their win streak on the volleyball court. and see if they were able to come away with a win on their senior night. And the WIU football team is gearing up for their big game against the number 4 ranked North Dakota State Bison this Saturday. Head football coach Charlie Fisher previews the matchup next on Live at 4. Welcome back to Live at 4. The Macomb High Bomber football team will be taking the field one last time as they hit the road to battle IVC High School tomorrow night. Bomber head football coach Kelly Sears says the team has a specific motto heading into the final game of the season.
You know, we got a motto this week: if we can't go, you can't go. And you know, IVC's looking at possibly making the playoffs. They are 4-4 right now, but you know, our motto is if we can't go, you can't go, and we're going to keep you out.
Heading into the final game of the year, the Bombers are ready and upbeat to end the season on a high note.
You know, the kids are still upbeat, and they understand where we're at, and you know, I think we're going into a winnable game. But the thing is, the stars are going to have to line up just right for us because of the fact, again, we're only going to be playing about 15 guys.
As the Bombers get ready for their final test of the season, head football coach Kelly Sears expects an even matchup this weekend as both teams have a similar injury report.
Is that they're kind of in the same boat we are. You know, they only got 10, 11 guys on the sidelines, and you know, they're very slim on numbers also, just like us. So, you know, it may be a battle of attrition.
The Bombers begin their final matchup of the season tomorrow night at 7 p.m. at IVC High School. Switching focus now to the Lady Bombers volleyball team in their final game of the home game of the 2016 campaign. It was senior night at the hangar, with the seniors being honored before the match. Starting off in the first set, a behind-the-back move by Brianna Grotz to send it back over, but a nice recovery, though, by the Lady Bombers, and Jordan Hare has the kill on the side for the first point of the match. Still in the first set now, a dig by Hannah Howard, and Alex Nevy earns the point by tapping it over. Lady Bombers are in control here. Set point in the first, and the return goes just wide from the Chargers as MHS takes the first set 25-12. To the second set we go. The pace is set early as Chloe Farr slams down the kill for the Bombers to take the point. And we're going to flash forward to the match point. Haley Coker ends it and sends everybody home on senior night with a win. MHS wins this one 2-0 at home. The Lady Bombers get the win on their senior night, and that makes it 6 in a row for them. And they end their home season with an 8-1 record at Washington Street Gym. Up next for MHS is an IHSA Class 3A regional quarterfinal against Peoria Manual at Limestone High School in Bartonville at 6:30 on Monday. Macomb High sophomore tennis player Erica Dawson has taken her dream all the way to state. Following her performance at the Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin Sectional, Dawson landed herself in the IHSA state tournament. Dawson played earlier today and lost to the number 2 seed Alessandra Bianco of Chicago Latin High School in straight sets. Congrats to Erica and the MHS girls tennis team on a stellar season. Moving over to WIU football now, the Leathernecks are off to their first 5-1 start since 2003. And that will be put to the test when they host the number 4 ranked North Dakota State Bison, who are coming off their first loss of the year. Sports director Danny Fry sat down with head coach Charlie Fisher to preview this week's matchup.
I mean, they don't lose very much, so when they lose, you can bet it doesn't sit too well. And you know, they're well coached, they're good, they know what it takes to win. So I mean, we're going to get their best shot. I can tell you that. That's thoroughly what I expect.
This isn't Coach Fisher's first time facing the Bison. Last season as the offensive coordinator at Richmond, his Spiders fell short in a playoff game at the Fargo Dome.
Brought that offense here, and we wanted to run the ball. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do that on a very consistent level. Now, we played them in the Dome, which is a very difficult place to play. And I went into that game feeling very good about where we were, and you know, we didn't execute. And it still comes down to that. I mean, no matter what you're doing on offense, defense, you got to execute, and you got to play 4 quarters of good football against them to win. We want everybody to be out. We want our student body to be out and just be behind us 100%. And there's nothing like playing in front of your home crowd, and especially when the energy's there and the excitement. And we're excited to be home. You know, we've been on the road a lot here early on, so our guys always look forward to playing at home here in Macomb.
Kickoff is this Saturday at 6 p.m. under the lights at Hanson Field in the NCAA FCS Game of the Week. That's all for this edition of Sports. Final Word is next.
On Wednesday, Danny and I tested how in shape we were when we headed out to a bounce house. Needless to say, I think it's harder to bounce now than it was 10 years ago.
There's Nick Garrick, one of our cameramen, almost knocking it all down. Emily Manley there as well for 88.3. The Dog, Chubby's, Hy-Vee, and the Ritz all helped to put on the event.
The marketing club set a goal of $1,500, but told us they have passed their goal by more than $600. All the proceeds went to Linda's Fund at McDonough District Hospital, which helps patients and their families with breast cancer. That's definitely, I mean, that was a lot of fun just to watch everybody bounce and then be able to bounce ourselves.
Pretty sure I tweaked my back doing that. Just a little bit, yeah. A couple aspirins after that one.
I think
for sure.
Nick might have done something too. And even
to the bounce house, that poor bounce house. What did that ever do?
Yes, and Sean Jameson jumped, our technical director jumped as well.
He had that slam dunk in that video.
Yep, he did. Now we had great weather for that, but what is it going to look like tonight, JT?
I'm sorry, but the National Weather Service has issued that frost advisory, so you're going to want to bring anything that's pretty delicate that's outside, bring it inside. Make sure to keep it nice and toasty. But for our 5-day forecast, we have those sunny skies on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. But the clouds do return in on Tuesday, with our temperatures ranging anywhere from 58 degrees up to 73.
You know, I'm going to forget my pumpkins, and they're going to have frostbite.
Yeah, probably.
That's going to happen.
Rough day for the old pumpkin.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, JT. That's all for us today, but join us tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for our award-winning show, Good Morning Macomb.
We're also online all the time. Stay up to date with us, News3WIU.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Just search our handle, News3WIU. You can also search for us on YouTube and subscribe.
Thank you for joining us this evening.
From all of us at News 3, have a good night, Macomb.